wanted to do as a theme for the talk, I thought about beyond imagination because I've been really struggling with how to feel safe. Like I'm known for like, oh yeah, we do all this fun stuff, and it's like beyond our imagination. We like to like do fun things. Oh, Lindsay. But recently I've been thinking about how imagination is super important. Well, I've noticed it in my work because I obsess over how like everyone is born with a genius. But when young people especially have all the technology, it's like they're losing their genius earlier. That connection to imagination, that ability, because the world is what you think it is. And if you can't think it or dream it or imagine like what it's like to feel like someone else, then it's literally impossible. And so when I was thinking about doing like a talk about this, why I wanted to bring it up with adults is because I've been really feeling like, oh, the unknown. So for example, my current business model died, and I'm currently floating on a miracle project while I build like my new business model to then hopefully like step onto. But it feels like a cliff. It's like, oh snap, what are we gonna do? We gotta build our new business model again. This is really scary. The unknown is scary. We're gonna die. So this is like the reminder of like, no, it's the runway, yes, because we're lifting off. We are not, like, the unknown does not mean, like, the end. It just means, like, it's like embracing more cyclical thinking. Like, yes, it's rebirth. And of course, I was like, oh, I've drawn about this. So this was the flyer for the show, because I had this vision of me being on this continent, and I, like, walked to the edge of the cliff of the continent. It was very, like, Irish moors, like the cliffs of, like, wherever, the edge of the cliff. And I turned around and just yelled, and the whole continent, like, broke apart, like, and I just, like, floated away. It was like, oh, everything that felt solid and real that I knew actually was holding me down. And I was like, oh. So I made art about it, and then so I feel like art, it's like helping future me. So present me was like, oh yeah, I've drawn about this, to try to help myself feel secure. So why I wanted to talk about this topic and explore it, because like, yeah, I need to remind myself, like, how do I feel fun and playful while we're constantly kind of in the unknown? How can it feel more like ascending versus like this like doom? So, so my favorite metaphor to use is science, is that butterflies, when caterpillars, they get all like in the goo phase, when they get in their the cocoon. And the cells are like, they have a lot of cells that are like, we're a caterpillar. But then these cells appear called imaginal cells. And they're the ones that say, we're a butterfly. And the rest is like, no, the goop is like, we're a caterpillar. It's like, no, we're a butterfly. It's like, no, we're a caterpillar. Until there's like a threshold number, a tipping point of the imaginal cells. And then it's like, oh yeah, I guess we're a butterfly. So that's what I think about with like the unknown and like going beyond limits. Is sort of like believing you're a butterfly when you're in caterpillar land, and everything's like telling you just like, why this caterpillar? You're like, but so that's the metaphor I like to share to help me think about it, because I've definitely never always been a butterfly. I was like very much like cocoon. I was a caterpillar, early 90s me, drawing in a sketchbook. I know, I love the color matching too. It's like purple, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Already doing it. There's the butterfly in there.
It's funny is that we've always been doing the same things, it's just now there's words for it. Like I was doing comic book murals as a teen, but there wasn't a name. Anyway. So we just thought we were just this little caterpillar. But I would mine courage from other places like Star Trek. And like, this was the quote in the front. This is like my very first sketchbook. Like, the one does not discover new lands without consenting to lose shore for the side of the shore for a long time. So yes, art are angels like Andre Gide and Audre Lorde. And I feel like I wanted to put like all the ancestors in there, but I was like, we're only doing a little bit of time for this talk and putting together a slideshow. But when I was young, I definitely was mining courage because I did not think I was a butterfly. I just started doing art therapy on myself, so I wouldn't have to talk to other people. So that's why I worked for my early 20s. So, and then started to do more illustrations, like, oh, we're still just we're just doing our therapy on ourselves. And then later realized, oh, those were stories, and maybe I can turn them into these things called graphic novels, which I didn't even know existed till I was 27. So, yeah, so I feel like I'm doing all these impossible things, but I built my confidence by doing it on paper. So this is like, you know, like 2000, this is like 2006 me, and then that's like 2009 me, and that's like, you know, more recently me, who's like, oh, we're much more comfortable with these daring feats of daringness. So it's funny how in the art, I can see like we're learning courage and drawing about it, of being comfortable with unknown, because I was raised by civil servants and a Tupperware saleswoman, so it was like very like norm central. That safety, you know, government job, that's what you need. But doing it on paper, that's where I build the confidence to then do impossible things in the real world.
That's you on top left?
Yeah, so I was the first graduate from the master's program in art education at JMU. I was their guinea pig grad student. They're like, we're starting a program. Do you want to be our expert? And I was like, yeah. And then, like going on TV, like Alan at the Bridge made up this name, Citywide Arts Fellow, for me to share my mats. He's like, what do we call you? Let's just make up that's what we are now. And go on the news. And, oh yeah, and then I broke into publishing with Page by Page after reading 4 graphic novels, and was like, I'm gonna figure it out, and it worked. And she was actually nominated for an Eisner Award. I was the first woman ever nominated for Best Lettering. It's like the Oscars of comics, which means I'm like really upset with like, because I'm super obsessive with lettering.
Yes, you are.
So I feel like I've done like these, I'm like a trailblazer in all these different weird ways. So yeah, that's me on like Macy's windows, and I did a special opportunity in Harrisonburg where I got to partner with like 5 and all the 6th graders, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of 6th graders, like all the 6th graders in Harrisonburg, doing comic murals. Yeah, so this is just a little flavor of like, so yeah, learn to be brave on paper, then it's like we can just embed more impossible things in real life. And even in comics, like there's so much I didn't know existed. I have a graphic novel musical, we do comic murals, there's comics journalism. We did like a museum exhibit. So even in comics, I'm like, this is stuff that I, like, who knew we'd do any of this? And it's just more impossible things, from singing in a band, to street art, public art projects with puppets, and taking over Times Square, and yeah. Oh yeah, the Boxes. So I was thinking, and then I guess, then the final example of like impossible things, before I get to sharing the principles I identified. More recently, cuddling has been an impossible thing I'm doing, like building cuddle community with friends, because I was like, why doesn't that exist? I need it, we'll just do it. And creating my own reality of zines. So I have all these zines, and it's like required reading, like this is my world, and here's the vocabulary, here's like, you know, if we're gonna do things that are different, then let's help people along the way in our world of impossibility. So that's like, you know, so I basically feel like my life is really full of just impossible stuff. Like the things I'm doing did not exist when I was a young person, at least not in this way. And so how can I find inspiration in that to help us move forward and not be terrified? Because even me, who's like, I love all, you know, I'm like, oh, this is like unsettling. Oh yeah, and that's the schoolhouse where I live, like 10 minutes from here.
Is that you?
That is me. Yeah, that was a project with my friend Bendigo. When I was leaving New York, basically I was like, I want to blow all my art supplies in my cabinet. So I was like, can you just throw all the paint from my cabinet? So we like collaborated on this one project.
Did it get in your eyes? In your nose?
Oh yeah, my eyes were like closed. It was so much fun. Our shower was like blue afterwards.
Do you still find glitter from that day?
No, but there is some glitter over on this piece over here, which now everyone is getting glitter. I feel like I was clean on glitter for years. Like I was like, I'm clean, because people were like, I would send like glitter bombs. Oh no, I had a glitter problem for a long time. I am so much better. So from my reflecting on my impossible life, I wrote one version of the talk, but then 2 days ago it like reorganized itself. I'm inspired by the 7 principles of Huna, because I was thinking you need to be able to boil everything down to 7 principles. So I just came up, and I hope it's not too much information, but I'm just gonna like, I'll try to
Bring it on.
Okay. So it's like 7 principles of impossibility, and each one has like a little spell, a little prayer that goes with it, like a personal thing that I do to help myself like apply this in my life, because I freak out a lot, you know. I feel like social media only sees the version of me that's like, I love doing new things. But yeah, so this is more about what helps me be able to seem like I'm not terrified. So the first principle is to turn defenses into ladders. So this is a scene from one of my books, Will and Myth I always think of, where, you know, if you look at the fence one way, it's like a prison, but if you change your perspective, then it's a ladder and transcendence. Because I think a lot of times, like with imagination, it's great. If you can imagine it, it's possible. But if you cannot imagine it, it is really impossible. It's like, no, it is so impossible. These are some like old drawings where I was like, how come I can't know these things? Because I really struggled with like, not having all, wait, actually I'm getting to that one next. With the obstacles that are holding us back. So for this, my little mantra prayer thing is, wait, let me look at my, to help me with this, because I think I changed the later one. And this one I always think of in the woods when I go through like this one like doorway of trees. I always do like this little dusting and like how I'm releasing past expectations and future anticipations. Oh wait, oh yeah, that's it. Oh, sorry, I put them all in there. I was like, which one goes where? Because words. So it's, may I let go of past expectations and future anticipations. So that's like the first one. If you want to try a little dusting on yourself.
Wait, can you say the whole thing again?
Past expectations.
Yeah, we're brushing off past expectations and future anticipations. So that's like something I do in the woods, like, you know, like all the time. I know this is like a little unusual talk for me, because it's like, what's just a different way to present information? I was like, we're just going to share some little things. So thanks for being part of my experiment.
Very awesome.
Very
cool.
Okay, the second principle is embracing the gift of not knowing, which I was about to start talking about. Like, it's hard to not know. Like, I just want to know. Is this a good decision? Is this a bad decision? I'm just sitting in the uncomfortable spot where you don't know. And so I always think of my partner, John Hunter. I don't know if anyone's familiar with him. He lives in Charlottesville. Do you know John Hunter? The World Peace Project. He has this game called the World Peace Game. And I was doing a residency in Arkansas where we were both there. I was making books with kids about peace, which was really hard with 4-year-olds. And so I was obsessed with his work, and he was telling me how he intentionally overwhelms the kids with these 50 interconnected problems in the game. He like short circuits them with information, so they have to surrender to these deeper patterns and lose like their individuality and think of how it's all connected. And it's this deliberate like overstimulate them thing. And he called it like how we both like to make the kids uncomfortable, like to hold them in that space of like not knowing how we're gonna solve the problem. And he called it the gift of not knowing. I was like, that's a great way to think of it. And also think of like, it's a game, yes. Like we need to be playful with, but it's okay that we don't know. Because that's actually part of the process, to surrender to solving the problem, even though it's like scary. So I think of it like a Mad Lib, how whatever project I'm doing, I only have like maybe 80% of it figured out. And 20% of it will be filled out by, I don't know, by mystery, through magic, through chaos, or whatever you want to call it. So that's how I think of like that unknown in like a playful way, so it's not scary. Was that it? Okay, I think that was that. So for that one, okay. And my little gesture for this one, this one I do tapping. And for this one is when I tell myself that like, that We can trust future me because future us will be smarter and wiser than present us. I always tell myself that, yeah, future me is, trust future us because future me is smarter and wiser than present me. And I'll do tapping too before I'm doing something where I'm like, oh, I don't know what's gonna be. I'm like, let's spin anxiety into excitement. It's exciting. It's an adventure. Yay! So maybe it's delirium. Okay, so that's the second one. You guys are doing great. This was really fun to put together. So the third principle of impossibility is to question everything. This doesn't mean to question everything and you're like, who am I? Am I have the right haircut? Or question my life choices. Not that sort of question everything, but more question all the things that you think are like set in stone. So this is like my trickster character who I drew. It was like, he was my first character. His name was Mip. He was a closet troll, little sneaky dude. He stole purple socks and like go through closet portals. And I remember I stopped drawing him in like 8th grade because that's when I decided, I had to stop being so weird. I was just so weird. And Mip was like this trickster part of me that I really felt like shut down. It's also unpredictable when you start to let out your playful side. Who knows what's gonna come out? But more recently I was like, oh, we can handle Mip. Because Mip is helping us through this moment. Because he does not move laterally, he does not move conventionally, he's like also keeping it playful. Because in publishing, my friend, I forget it was my age, one of my publishing friends was saying, we were talking about how publishing is like the Wild West. Because the publishers think the authors know what's going on. And then the authors think the publishers know what's going on. Like everyone thinks that someone else knows what's going on, but really no one knows. So it's just the Wild West! And so you just have to look at it like, oh, it's great. We can make up new rules instead of feeling scared that there's no laws. But yeah, it's lawless land, especially publishing. And so for this one, I think about my favorite. I've been doing this a lot lately, so I bet I've shown a couple of you. But I've been doing this little gesture where I make like a little bird like over my heart, like a little bird, and then I'll sing like a clip of the '80s song, the "Hold On Loosely," So I think about how I'm like holding on to everything loosely. Like my awesome, cute little house. I love it, but I'm also like, we won't be able to live here forever. So like everything. So with everything, even my friends, I'm like, I'm so glad that we're like cuddle buddies right now, because it might not be forever. And like this, and so, yeah, kind of, so that's the little gesture I've been doing if you want to try it. Hold on loosely. Hold on loosely. Oh yeah! Don't hold on loosely. Yeah, because it's also like, so I feel like it's like when I spin flag, if I'm holding the flag like really tight, like I'm trying to hold everything with as loose a grip as possible, just like barely hold on to anything with, And that's the way to feel like it's okay in, Wild West land where everything is up for question. It's like, is the problem, the foreground of the painting, or is it everything else? So that's the third principle. You guys are doing great. Oh my god. It's also fun to like go through my file cabinet of art and like pull out different little old art gems to illustrate these things. So the next principle is to invent what you need. So instead of changing yourself to fit into the world, changing the world to fit you. Because if there's not a box you fit in, you carve new boxes. This is me like, oh, I don't fit in these boxes. It's like, oh, it's actually okay we don't fit. We're just gonna carve new boxes.
Is that beach sand?
Oh, it's just watercolor on gray paper. Just a nice little faux.
Awesome.
Yeah.
It's the scenic artist in me coming out. It's like, we love textures. Yeah, and I think of this, I feel like Star Trek is one of my top metaphors. So I'm always thinking about how we invent queer what we need. It's really this, like, looking for invisible spaces. So like where I put my books used to not be a shelf for young adult graphic novels that like did not exist. But to envision like there's empty spaces, even though where you can't see them, like where is that empty space where I fit in? And I always think about how in Star Trek, so that's a pattern enhancer for the transporter. So if you want to transport something into reality, identifying 3 knowns. So in books, we call them comps. So I'd be like, oh, I'm like Raina Telgemeier meets Hope Larson with a dash of like Craig Thompson ink style. But I'm not like any of them. I'm like the invisible thing in between them. But you have to talk about like 3 knowns to talk about an unknown for people to help help other people see it. And also to help you see it. So I tell people like, you want to publish a book? Like identify, yeah, where are the other books near your book? So like, but it's hard for me because I'm kind of too ahead. So like my agent, we worked on a graphic novel self-help book, which is like a new emerging genre, but it's like too new and you can't sell it. So it's like, I don't know, it's like how to find a good balance of bringing these impossible things into reality that meets the need of other people. Because I feel like when you make what you need, it's what other people need too. You just need enough other people if you're trying to sell it. So these are examples of things that like words that I use that are, I feel like they're mostly from me. Yeah, I think they're almost all from me. I think they're like, yeah. But these are words like in my vocabulary that I just have normalized and use all the time, and things I've invented as part of how I've just created what I need. And so I'm curious if there's any on there that anyone's curious about. I feel like
Cocoa time?
Cocoa time. So I invented a fictional assistant, and they're named Coco. So every Sunday morning I do Cocoa time, where I plan my week, and I actually have like a whole class where I teach other people how to like work with your fictional assistant to like do your time management. So I call it like Cocoa time.
I remember when we were neighbors. You're Coco.
I need a Coco.
They're my fictional assistant. I know, I was like, Coco will do that. That's just me.
Does Coco wear different outfits?
I used to wear a hat. I used to wear a little hat all the time.
Pumpkin time.
Pumpkin time is like when I turn into a pumpkin in the evening. So normally it's like 7 o'clock, but I did a lot of napping today. So good. But I educate all my friends so then they understand when I have to leave, and they're like, we're so glad for you and your healthy boundaries. Yay. Yeah, some of them are just adaptations of adapting existing words like encouragement.
What is doobie doobie rhythm?
Oh, I was just talking about that earlier, how doobie doobie doo, that I have to have a rhythm of doing something and then having like a B break, like, because I will get in this like do, and you know what, that doesn't sound good. Do too much. Then I have to like interrupt with like little micro rest moments, or just a check-in moment, or like snack, but just to weave it in there like super intentionally and just like make it a new rhythm. So yeah, I like to do. Since I unmasked autistic, that's when that one started. I was like, I can really only do like half, so we just gotta
Me.
Yeah, we just need some me time. So with friends too, like we don't have to do so much. We can just like be.
Dixie dust.
Oh, Dixie Dust, sexy one. I call that's like what I call the, I'm like, oh God, how do I explain?
In all fairness,
that's what I call,
it's
it's like the charge of energy from physical intimacy that is like the magic pixie dust that helps fuel studio work and other like, you know, I feel like you guys just get the non-erotic charged version of the magic, but I feel like it's I like to just give, I don't know, I just want to came up with a term to sort of like value and acknowledge that that's part of like my creative machine that's like an essential resource. Appreciate all the workers that help this happen. Partners come in
Now leading into Agent of Whimsy.
Because also I think a lot about language is just finding ways to acknowledge and honor things that are important for us that there are no words for.
Yeah.
But oh, you said agent of whimsy. Oh yeah, that's what I call doing more subversive, especially like this is we recently have been doing some street art. This is one of them, so I feel like this is a bit of an agent of whimsy. So it's also whimsy as an act of resistance.
Like Amelie style.
What?
Like Amelie.
Yeah.
Possibly.
Also, we are very serious, and it's like.
Laura
Any
Lee.
other one before I?
Yeah, can I say something about the cocoa time?
Yeah.
You know, the fruit, coconut, in Brazil we say coco.
Mm.
You know, poop, we say coco.
So there's often coffee involved with cocoa time. So I can see.
What's the 80% wall?
That's
Yeah, I was thinking about that.
that's like my observation and calculation from years of recon that it's a universal experience for artists to experience 80% of plan in a project, and then you hit a wall about 80% in where you don't know how to finish it or what to, and it just like, and it like, it's a wall. And so I kind of pulled everybody, and I feel like it happens all the time, like this drawing, like 80% of the drawing, I'm like, I hate this drawing, it's ruined, you just got crazy eyes, I can't fix it. You know, and then, yeah, so it's that, so it's like, I feel like I could give advice on how to go through that, but I don't want to go too off topic.
You gotta wait for like a month to come back to it, and the 20% is there, we get there, like, oh my god, there it is.
I feel like the 20% is like that missing part of the Mad Lib. It's like the thing that's not in the plan that was not in your original vision. And that's why you have to like let go of what it wanted to be to let it reveal like what it wants to be.
Cool.
Because you're like too scared to mess it up, so you'll just rather it die than like mess it up. But you have to risk messing up the baby. You have to risk dropping the baby. That's what you gotta do. That's how you go through the wall. It's like, let's take a risk. It's like actually that's what it needs. Because that's when you come up with like what it wants to be. It's like I'm actually this. Like anyway. What?
Nina
We'll,
understood all
rotate.
of that.
Yeah. Cool.
Okay, good. I was like speaking in metaphors.
I'm gonna have to slide out.
Okay.
I'm going to continue on our.
I
Oh
want
wait.
a picture of
With the
that.
inventing on your need.
I want a picture of all those.
A lot of slide in this section. I was just gonna say my favorite way to do this is just portmanteaus, which you don't know the word. It's the word for when you combine two words together to make new words, like creationship and partnership, with creation and art and partnering. So I feel like this is the most playful way I think of inventing what you need, and I encourage everybody to be playful with your language, and constantly, because also as words are, I don't know, the stories are alive, and as certain words get kind of like corrupted, you just gotta go new words. Guys, does anyone have a favorite portmanteau?
Raw authentic.
Raw authentic.
Yes.
Oh, I like that one. Raw authentic. Raw and authentic.
Relationship.
Ooh.
Nice.
Actually, I didn't make it up though.
It's still good.
That's a good one.
I do love making up words, and I like naming people.
All the time.
I didn't know that.
My most recent one is regenerosity.
Ooh. Regenerosity.
Like confuzzled, would that be one?
Confuzzled.
Confuzzled.
I've used confuzzled. I've used
I like
confuzzled.
that.
I like
That's a good one.
that. Is a good one. It's like playful for.
Yeah, like
Puzzle.
you're in a
In
puzzle.
Spanish,
Yeah.
You're in a
there's
puzzle,
Yeah.
so it's not so.
hard in Spanish is difícil, and easy in Spanish is fácil. Así que you can say difácil, which is both at the same time.
It's fácil.
A little bit. It's easy and hard.
Difácil.
Oh yes. Oh.
Portmanteau.
I know. Which also means
I never
means,
would've
I didn't know
guessed
that it means
that's the word.
suitcase. I
So
know.
isn't it a French word?
It is a French word.
Yeah.
Manteau is blanket and port is a port. So
What's a manteau?
Oh, man.
Port is all portated to carry.
Right.
Carry.
And manteau is what?
oh,
What did you say,
Suitcase.
Monto?
Manteau
Suitcase to carry.
Sounds like a type of
Blanket, yes,
cheese.
a blanket carrier.
Okay.
Ah.
Blanket carrier.
why would that be meaning a word formed by merging the sounds and like how did that?
It
come
started off about it was originally the suitcase,
Yeah.
and then people used the suitcase idea to talk about words and the ways they come together in that way. Like, because you're putting the two compartments.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's right.
Yeah.
That makes so much
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, especially how people would always like, you know, break up words, you know, into like the little train. Language. Okay, we're down to the final two probes. Are we doing okay? Our brains
So
exploding?
what was the last spell prayer?
Oh, that's right. Was there... Oh, it was just me. It was actually that one was me asking about portmanteaus. I was gonna have us like create one, but I was like, oh, sharing them is good.
Great.
So not as much fun with spell with that one, but I still got two more. Actually, this one's like the longer one. So the next principle of impossibility is trusting prompts, not scripts. Which I feel like I've been loving trying to express to like young people, especially like how do you know how to make decisions and what to do. Because when I say scripts, I like social scripts, like having like that language. So those scripts are good. But when I say script, I mean more like pre-dispensed script from other people. That I have an allergy for those. And the prompts, because this little comic was like, oh, the path, it's above us. Because I feel like the usual script is the conveyor belt. This is my little diagram for your kids. Like, I know this is why the world seems really you're not excited. Not to be dark. But I feel like this is the script. Like, this is the script. Like, this is what you do. And they hand it to you. And if you want to go off script, you just have to create your own thing.
Yeah.
But thankfully there is a map. It is the Hero's Journey. Yay! Because I did a whole talk about Hero's Journey because it's a special interest. Because, of course, the path is not straight. It is round. And so, with, knowing how to, like, make sure you're following, like, your Hero's Journey path and not getting, like, shoved on the conveyor belt. So I call it, like, prompts, almost like in a video game where there's, like, little prompts you gotta look out for.
If you
And so
added
for
an
me...
H and you rearranged it, you could have it be choices. You just need to add an H.
Oh, wow, choices. Oh, check it
I
out.
don't know, happenstance, add that in there.
And then
Yes, like how to follow the prompts. Like, because how do you follow? I was thinking about, like, how do I follow the prompts?
Or
It's like-
happiness too.
Happiness and happenstance. Those are options.
So also I was gonna ask, like, if there were things that.
Happy stance. Oh, look at her.
haha, woo!
What?
Portmanteau.
Just like being Portmanteau, like,
There you go. You can use happy stance.
happy stance. Awesome. And we have a new tool. I'll add it to the list of new systems we've just created and co-created. But yeah, so I was just paying attention while working on the talk. Like, how do I know what to follow the? Well, how do I know what do I trust? And we trust our intuition. Curiosity and coincidence, especially if there's ancestors involved. And I really do trust like things like simplicity and ease. And so I'm curious if there's things that what helps you follow your prompts rather than just the scripts. But I'm definitely gonna add the happy stance.
Wait, can you ask that
Asking
question?
if we have
Oh yeah, if you guys have something that you would add, like for you personally, because also I'm just curious, like how do you know how to, like fun,
Fun,
Definitely.
trust the fun,
Play. If it
Play.
makes me
Yeah.
feel like I'm
Big
ready to
one,
play,
actually.
absolutely.
play,
Levity.
Yeah.
levity.
And happenstance. I mean, serendipity is really fun.
I feel like that's why I put it first. I feel like that's the one that's the most obvious to me, where I feel like, okay, like I'm getting it. And actually the
Community. Yeah.
community, how so? Like trust the.
You can't go on it alone.
Yeah, we're definitely talking more about that.
Or family, you could put family in there, or
I like common unity. Common unity. So it's like
community, common unity.
Yeah.
So many good words. We got all the words. Well, also we're at a time of respelling. It's a spell work, and so that's why words are so important. So
It's like a new language.
Mm-hmm.
And the world is what we think it is, so we got to be intentional with the language that we're using. Okay, so my little prayer for this one. I have the short line, but it had like a longer part before. I felt like, I don't know, I kind of felt like sharing it, like with how I call in guidance. I'll just read it. Okay. So the whole thing is, I do this every night. I have a really long prayer thing I do every night. So this is what I do to try to ask for help. So I'll call in my spirit guides, friends, helpers on the other side, ancestors of blood, spirit, and land. Please, this is what I picture, sort of like this council, like around me at night if I have insomnia, and like that these are all my help, like my council, call my council. Ancestors of blood, spirit, and land, please surround me and show me in ways I can easily understand my path to my highest good and healing through my intuition, coincidence, opportunity, and feeling. May my dreams be helpful teachers, and I trust my heart to serve as leader.
That's so beautiful.
So yeah, so I say that every night, so sort of like, please tell me that I can understand. Like, make it really obvious. Please, please. So like, make it really clear. I'm gonna listen. Okay, we're down to the final two. So, second last one is working with future you. Because if we're talking about going into the future and doing new things, connect with future you, because they're really the one that you were doing this for. And I feel like that they're like an partner in this process. So like lately I've been thinking about how I've been like shopping, like if I buy anything like at a thrift store, I'm like buying something for future me. I'm like, future me likes white, because apparently she's more responsible and she can keep it clean. And I leave notes to future me. I do all sorts of things like set up future me for success. And I guess the biggest thing with future me, I guess I would say, is like, how do you connect with future you? I feel like she's my curiosity. When I feel curiosity, I feel like that's future me telling me I'm supposed to go that way.
Wow.
And I don't know if that's true, but that's what I feel like. And also I feel like it's in the art. The art is always a little ahead of where I am. I feel like future me is speaking to me through the art. Because I'm never quite there, you know. But, so yes, that's why I feel like I connect with her. And so I do an activity with students oftentimes where we make a high five for their studio that represents like past tense you, future you, like all your support and all this stuff. So this is our backdrop for our little, the prompt, the prayer for this one. Because in the studio, I will actually like high five the one I have in my studio, like finish something, I'm like, yeah, we finished something. But I'll do it, like I'll do two things with myself, with others is, you know, like patting ourselves on the back, but not like patting like good me, it's more like I have your back. Like I have your back, you know. Or I'll actually like hug myself too. Like I have your back. Because it's like about present me, but also like future me. That yeah, like we've got you. Like we're connected. Because then I feel more invested in like, yeah, we can't give up hope because future us like needs us. So building that compassion helps me like hang in present tense. But okay, we're down to the last one. We're perfect on timings, and that's okay. The last one is it's lean on bigger support. Like yeah, don't do this alone. Like because yeah, these desperate times, I feel like I've been leaning a lot more into like yeah, asking for help. Where can I source support intentionally? So this is actually my whole. I was excited to finally draw this recently. Like all the different little voices in my head. I was like, I want to just do a cat. Like this is all everybody. So it's different sections by color. So yeah. So